iPhone, the new iPhone include depth camera, true depth camera. That was discussed and it was our classroom project 4 or 5 years ago. So if you are interested in the future technology of our computing, the business, you can take a look at the technical paper. Usually it takes 4 to 5 years to be commercialized, which means if I'm doing research in academia, university, right now, then it will be 4 to 6 years later when I was a student. Nowadays it's getting shorter. So maybe 3 or 4 years later it will be commercialized. So which means if you are interested in the new business, entrepreneur, or startup, so read the technical paper. What is most of them actually the patent by the company, but you can get the idea of that. So such the depth camera. Do you know the Kinect? Kinect already implemented such the depth camera using IR, infrared camera. So and the infrared sensor. Then it's like the motion like the game. So but not in cell phone, but they include for what? Augmented reality, AR, and the VR, virtual reality. So that was the research a lot several years ago. Then it is nowadays very hot. Then such the hot topic will be gone the couple of years later. But the couple of later it will be commercialized in the industry. So why don't you think about such the characteristic in the IT and computer science? So not just running the popular program languages like the C#, ASP.NET to get a job, but if you are interested in such a thing, so read the technical paper. Okay. Okay, so that is Android is mostly, but nowadays they support the multitasking. So you can even my phone is only the $200, but I think that's pretty much similar functionality as the new iPhone. But so that has I can watch the YouTube, then read the email same time. So iOS also support already in the previous version, so you can do that. But it's limited. It's usually allowed 2. One problem is limitation is the size of the screen, but the more important thing is that you lose a lot of power. Okay. Okay, so then that's the end of regular mark, right? Finally, chapter 3. So what is this? It's a computer that we are dealing with. It has 2 main components. One is CPU, another one is memory. So it's already power on. So you'd like to use this computing power. How? How can you use? So we already possess the operating system. Operating system provides some of the application program, but I'd like to use directly this computing power. So we need program language. Okay. So when you make the friend with the other country, you should be able to talk, at least translate. So similarly, so computer can use only 0 or 1 combination of that. So, but it is very hard to know what is the meaning of 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So instead, we are going to use something common language. So this one can be represented by assembly language, okay, or instruction. So in other words, the CPU can understand this instruction, assembly language. In other words, the manufacturer of the CPU processor, they define which instruction will be used in this. Then operating system follow that. It's not operating system to define the instruction. It's a hardware. So hardware company like the Intel, define this new chip, not AMD, the Intel i5, the use this instruction. Okay, then based on that, operating system provide system library that can actually use such an instruction. So then at the time, such a system library is a C or C++. So low-level programming, or the machine language, sometimes it's called a machine language, but this one is high-level language. Okay, so we can use this high-level language like the main, or some you need to include stdio and the main function, and define the integer or the global variable is the I and the for loop, so on. Okay, you cannot. So this is the A.C file. This program language can be understood by the CPU? No. As we can see, the CPU can understand this instruction. So we need to do what? Compile. So compiler is also program software. Okay? Who provides the compiler? Compiler. Okay, not operating system. Based on what? Operating system? No. Based on this hardware. Because of that, so if you are using exactly same computer, same operating system, like the Windows, but you are using different the CPU, like the 32-bit, 64-bit. Does it work? Some of them are working, but for the safety, you need to compile again. Why? Because their instructions are different, even though the others are exactly same. Okay? To address that one, we have Java. Java compile once, just run. Because on top of that, there is a virtual machine. It hides hardware part. Okay? Java virtual machine. However, not always. You can run every time. Debug everywhere sometimes. So, this is a compile. What happens when you compile? It has a assembly language instruction, like the load, and or move, increment. If you are interested in the assembly language, remind, you already learned in your undergraduate class, like the microprocessor. When did you take the microprocessor? Sophomore? Yeah. So probably you take this one. So this is the assembly language. Finally, this one can understand that this the instruction assembly language. But where does it create it? Like this one is A.out file. Using the GCC, you compile. Then this is A.out file. This is called what? Program. It's not process, it's a program. So program is what? Just set of instruction. If you open using the ultra editor, so you can see bunch of the weird number or the character. It's actually such a instruction. Then this one will be stored at your file system, somewhere file system A.out. Then using shell programming or any graphical user interface, anything interface, if you double click this one, what type? A.out. Okay, what happened? That's the executing. This one is called the executable file, specifically. Executable file, different from data file. So executable file, it will be here. So to run this program, to execute the program, you need to double click. Then what happened? This instruction will be copied, loaded into the memory. That's what we learned. That's what you know. Then, how will be loaded? That is the question of the chapter 3. How will be loaded? Just dump all the instruction. Okay? That's it. Instead, computer always follow what? Structure. Data structure, rule. Okay? So, compiler actually design. When you compile, so which means compiler know the data structure of process when you click, when you start the program, like basically this is a lower address and this is a higher address. As I mentioned before, memory is nothing but what? Address. It's a set of address like this. Somewhere in your memory, this data means the instruction will be copied somewhere in your memory. But it's a specified, designed by compiler already. So let's say this is 32K for example size, and the 2K is used for the data program. Okay, then another section is for when I learn the program. Still, I'm not very good at programming, so which means if there's any problem, I usually create global variable. Then it will be easy to, but it will be messed up. Global variable means what? It can be accessed from anywhere in your programming, which means it should be something common area. So global variable will be this next section. This is called the text. Then, while you are running this program, okay, you have something array, like the array variable. Array, you don't know first time until you define. So it can be big, it can be small, 10 or 100. So it's dynamically changing. So such a dynamic changes, the data will be located here, lower to high. This is called the heap area. Then sometimes you have the temporary data. The A inside the loop will be used in the block only. It will be gone. That will be located top to bottom the area. Then it will be push and pop out. That is the stack. Do you remember the stack data structure? And this is a heap data structure. So stack and the heap is defined. Then this is the very, very high level overview of the process when you execute, when you create the process. Then who create this one? Who is in charge of? We understand how it will be created. Who will? Parent of you. Who make the you? Your parents. Who make this process? Parent process. Who is the parent process of this A.out? This shell program, current shell program. So how then we know the data structure and we know who will and how. So first, when parent process run this A.out, copy. This is how it works. It's different from how you were born. Okay, it's like the DNA or whatever. I do not know. But program process. When you create the process, your parents, you try to create the child process. First, just this is the current process in the memory. Just copy. Okay, copy myself. Okay, except data area. Data means program. Including the not copy, this is the common, which means it's like this. Then this part will be shared data. So like this. Copy. Just copy. Copy means first looking for the space on the memory. So if you take a look at the system library, there is a MALLOC, memory allocation, the system library. Using system library, you can copy. Just copy myself. Okay? That makes sense. Like you are almost the same, similar as your parent, right? So just copy. Then, next step is, this program is actually this code, different from parent, right? Parent is a shell program. So load this one into the data area. Then separate. It has their own data area. Okay? Two steps. One is copy. Then next one is load the the instruction program to the data area. So first copy is called the fork. Okay. Then load the instruction. This is called exec. So always when we create the process, two steps, fork and exec. Probably you heard about the fork and exec. Okay. This is one of the very popular question. When my supervisor, when I worked for the administrator, when I was hired, I was not asked, but my advisor usually asked, what is the difference between fork and exec? Everybody knows that you need the fork and exec to create the process, but many of them do not know what happened. So, this is the answer. Fork is finding the memory resource. Okay, resource, the emerald. So exactly copy. Except the data. Data can be shared because later we don't have to copy because it will be the loaded replaced by the new one. Okay? That process is called the exec. So in your project 1, you must use these two system instruction, system library. Okay? That is the reason. Java, no, you cannot do this one because Java uses the virtual machine. Because of that, I'm not going to allow to use the Java. Do not blame me. So some of the students already complain, why I cannot use the Java? Because of this reason. Python actually not, Perl is not, but they pretend that this library. So I allow to use the Python and the Perl, the library. Okay, so this is your job in your phase 1, the project 1, the main thing. So please remember the fork and exec. Next class we will discuss more this fork and exec, how it works, and the overall process management. Okay. If you do not have a question, and so if you have a question, you can ask. You can start. Okay. Any question? Why he's preparing the lab? This one is working there. Try. So why don't you open the browser? I recommended to use the Chrome because it's recommended, but Explorer also is working. So then log in using sign in with your Gmail ID, individual Gmail ID that was used to create your project. Then you go to the console and be ready. The console, then compute engine, click the SSH, then be ready to start the that. So today you are going to learn the basic Unix command. So you should be ready for the you don't have to print out the exercise lab, the PDF file. Instead, the download, and you can open the use on your screen. And also, I do not recommend to copy and paste the code, okay? Because PDF file has invisible character sometimes. So it's called the white character. It's really happen in the project and the real life system. So many of the developer or administrator just copy and paste, especially from Windows to the Unix system. They use the different special character. Okay, do not copy and paste. For your practice, please type. Even though it takes a time, that will be helpful to understand. Will be useful. If you have problem or the question, raise your hand. Also, to save the coupon money, so if you do not use several days, so please do not delete. But if you don't want to, you can delete and recreate. But if you can stop your system, like unplug your power, okay? Then you can save your coupon for money. I do not know how much it will be used throughout the semester. It's the first time, so just in case, please save your coupon. Are you ready? Okay, start.
Hi, all of you have created the instances. So how many of you are able to create the instance in VM? Okay, then we can meet after the class and we can work it out on this. So others, please log in to your SSH connection. So how many of you are familiar with Unix commands? Okay, so then it will be like pretty much simple.
Dara, can you make it bigger font? Why don't you go to the setting on your block? I'm in the font size.
Just hit Control plus, it's fine.
Yes, that's much better. Okay. If you believe that you are the advanced, please go ahead. You don't have to wait the instruction. Just go ahead the next exercise line. Okay, but if you do not know how to do that, just follow his instruction.
first command we are going to see is the who command. If you could see there are two users on the same. So if you want to see on which user you are working, just give who am I. It will show the current users logged in. And
So sometimes when you are using the multiple SSH, it was telnet, which is not secure. Nowadays, most of the such a connection, you are using the SSH, okay, the secured shell. So at that time, you don't know which one is which. At the time, you can use this kind of command.
the next command is the ls. ls will list all the files and directory present on the path. So currently all these one are the directories, so it's in the blue color. I'm going into the desktop. So if you want to change your directory from the current one, just give cd, which is the change directory, cd, and give the directory which you want to go. Now it has been changed to the desktop one, and if giving ls, then it will list all the directories and files, and here are the two directories available here. And if you want to create a directory, just make use of this command, is mkdir space the directory name. I am giving lab. So it has been created. Just to check, give ls. You could see the lab has been created. So I am going into the lab directory. So when I try to give this command, it's not working because there is no file or directory present, because we have just now created the lab directory.
So this is the one of the difficulty when you are using the command line interface. You need to always know the where you are and how to go. So instead of clicking the folder, okay. But once you are convenient, get familiar with this kind of interface, it will be much simpler, and it's kind of confident to move the change of the directories. And one more thing is, so because you can take time to you need to wait. So most of the students follow. Okay. So I'd like to give the question. So just during the waiting time, what happened when you type the ls here? What is the ls? ls is this program, this one. Okay, it's the application program that you created. Not you, but operating system probably created. This code line, if you find the source code of ls, it's less than 10 lines. It's very simple. Using what? System library. Using the system library is not such a long. But we have you can find the ls application binary file. So you don't know where it is, but there's a way to find. It's just for your information. Which ls? There is like the /bin or something like that. It will show. Okay. So when you type the ls, means it's executing this binary file. Okay. That means this is your current shell program. In this case, who is yours, right? So this shell program, fork, copy. So this is the shell. Then copy, fork, then copy the data file to your exec. Then create So this is, for example, you will see the process ID. Let's say this is 100. The new one here will be 101. Will be created. So this is what happens whenever type any command here. Okay. That's the first project, actually. Okay, go ahead.
For creating a file, there are two commands. One is like you can use touch and then cat, or you can use directly the cat command.
So why don't you
I'm going to show you the cat command. For creating a file, you just give cat and the return symbol and the file name. Right. Then it will ask for you to enter the data inside it. Just I'm giving.
cat command is kind of capturing. So, and also inequality sign is very important in the command line interface, which is one of the powerful the command option used in the command line interface is a redirection. You can change the direction of input and output. For example, your input is typing, standard input. That will direct to the new. You can see the direction. So going to the new file. So whatever you type here, so it will be stored as the new. The name of the file is new, the new file. Okay, so it's called the redirection.
So you can type all the data you want to type, and for exiting this command, just give Control D. Control D.
David D.
Is Delta?
D for that.
And you will see some of students ask for question. I do not have any file, any output of ls because you don't have a file. But right now you have file. So if you type ls again, then you will see the file name.
So to display the content in the file, you can just use the cat command. Just give cat and the file name.
One more question. What happens when you type this one? In other words, how many processes will be created?